But this is still by far your best qualifying effort. So what's the reaction to this? Disappointment, or no, we're very much headed in the right direction?
No, yes, honestly, definitely we are missing something for qualifying. So because many times this happened for us. We had better practice and qualifying. So, but I think it's a really good job. We were 13 in Laguna Seca, now 15, always really close to pass to the fast 12. But we are growing. I think we have a good car for tomorrow. So thanks for the world team, thanks Team Chevy. I think we need to improve our quality pace for the future, but we are in a good situation.
Well, one good thing is this is place, if you've watched races in the past, where you can start where you're at and still win the race, certainly finish up front. What can you do in the race tomorrow?
Yeah, definitely. It's a long race, and you have to have a good pace. We are going to save one set of tires, so it's a good news too. So I am trusting in we have a good car for tomorrow.
Yeah, Marty, that's our first quick car that has two sets of the alternates for tomorrow.
Yeah, 13th, not where Scott McLaughlin wanted to start, but the really tough part of that 5/1000ths of a second is all it took. I mean, how frustrating is it when it's that close, Scott?
Yeah, look, it is IndyCar, you know, and it is frustrating, but yeah, I actually felt my laps were really good. Obviously not good enough. I just missed a couple at turn 4 was probably my biggest loss. So frustrated, but the Sonsio Chevy feels good. It's just, you just miss it by a little bit and you're out. So it is what it is.
I know 13th is not where you want to start, but how advantageous could it be to have two sets of sticker reds for the race tomorrow when it looks like it's going to be an alternate race?
Yeah, the boys just reminded me that, and I don't mind my chances. So hopefully 13 is lucky for me.
Yeah, there you go. Could be lucky 13th. And remember, Scott Dixon started 15th diff here in August, won the race. You never know. From 13th, Scott McLaughlin.
Well, he's one of those guys that probably enjoys seeing some highlights of guys go from a little farther back to the front. What have you been dealing with here so far today?
Yeah, it's been a strange day. We have been lacking just pace, to be honest, lacking grip. We were okay on the reds this morning, but then on blacks we've just been sliding around. Was hoping it was going to be the case again in qualifying, but yeah, we're just lacking pace. It's really strange, it's really frustrating and super disappointing.
So you have two teammates that are still going out. Did you learn anything you can share with them to try to get overall the team moving forward a little bit?
I don't know. I think, you know, the balance was pretty good. I think they did a good job on the balance. So it's not like I can say a specific thing where it's like we need to do this and it will go faster. That's the frustrating part. It felt pretty good balance-wise. Felt pretty good driving-wise, and we're still P20 or whatever. So it's yeah, super disappointing.
11th in his group, just a couple of tenths off advancing. Thank you, Marcus. Marty.
Yeah,
Ferrucci in a little better frame of mind right now. Showed some pace here today. Just needed another tenth or so. What are you missing?
Man, you know, with how we were going so slow in those first laps, I just don't think I got the fronts in time. Probably could have taken another turn of front wing, but we were a little unsure from free practice 2. We actually ended up putting in almost 2% more COP from free practice 2 to here, so we kind of took a guess at it. But no, the guys did a great job. You know, it's a tight field. What can you say? 110, 2 tenths puts you from V8 to P2 here, and you know, it's okay. We'll have a set of sticker reds for tomorrow. We think it's going to be a red race, so honestly, not the end of the world.
And do you feel like this is a racer's track? We really saw you mix it up at Barber a couple of weeks ago and move forward 10 spots. Can you do that again here?
Well, I'm definitely not here to make any friends, Kevin, that's for sure. So, yeah, I mean, we'll move forward. You know, I think we've got a really good long-run car this year, especially working with Penske, you know, and, yeah, you know, you'll see the Sexton Property Chevrolet come forward.
All right. Santino Ferrucci, 16th tomorrow. Marty.
Kyle Kirker will start the best of the Andretti cars in 14th, considering how well the test went a few weeks ago for the entire camp. Are you surprised none of you guys make the Fast 12?
Yeah, I mean, it was a surprise from I think practice 1 today, and there's not really a rhyme or reason for it if I'm being honest, because we showed up at the test, we thought we made very big improvements on the same tire that we're on here, and we just can't seem to get it exactly perfect. It's like, but the margins are so fine, right? Like Felix is on the same car as us, and he just went quickest in this group just now. So clearly there's time left in it. So we just need to get our heads together and focus on it a little bit better and hone on this car a little bit, you know. But that's the name of the game at this place. It switches so quickly with track conditions, weather conditions, wind direction, and it's always tight because we get so much time around here that 2 tenths is right now from 7th to 1st in our group, which is crazy to think, right? So, I mean, We're all right. I think that's an okay spot. It's this is one of the more raceable tracks that we come to. So hopefully we can bring this 27 Honor Nation car to the front.
We heard you, Scott McLaughlin, and Romain Grosjean all say, but the car felt fine. Does that make it more perplexing when it's like that? The car feels good, just the speed's not there.
Yeah, I mean, this morning we were struggling with balance a little bit, and we found out why. So, I mean, this morning wasn't a head scratcher, but qualifying just now was. But after I get out and I look at the time charts and it's only 2/10 to transfer, I'm like, well, maybe it did feel good. Maybe it was good. Maybe there is just that time that I need to extract out of it. That's kind of the thoughts that go through your mind when you get out of the car. But I'll dig into it and see if there's any discrepancies compared to Felix at least, and see if we can gain on that.
We'll start 14th tomorrow, Kevin.
Rob Edwards with Andretti, and specifically let's talk about Colton Herta now, running out of fuel, a couple of corners less. Is it a situation where you had the fuel and were not fast enough, so took a chance on one more, or did you always plan on running that one last lap that you didn't get to?
No, we were planning to do two time laps on reds, and that was the second of the laps, and we just didn't get enough in it. So it's just a human mistake, human error.
So beyond that, trying to find some pace, listening to the other drivers, they're a little bit baffled right now. What can you do to try to make the best of it tomorrow?
I think obviously, right, we got to go away and look, and Felix is obviously with essentially the same thing we're doing, has got good speed, so we'll cue off of that. So I think Colton probably had the speed on that second lap. We just were say halfway around the lap, we knew we were in trouble. So.
Thank you, Rob, the COO of Andretti Global and the strategist for Colton Herta.
Well, yeah, let's chat with Christian Rasmussen. How would you evaluate this qualifying session for you guys? Your teammate is up there. I know you said you've leaned on him a little bit, but how much can you take from what he is doing in the 21 car with Rinus VeeKay?
I try and take as much as I can. Rinus has a few more years of experience here in IndyCar that I have, so always try to listen to him and see what they're doing to try and improve my own game, But yeah, didn't quite have enough to train for today. We've had some good practices, but still got to be able to work that red tire in qualifying. I think that's where we lack a little bit. I was sitting pretty good on the blacks before, but yeah, just the limited time on the red so is making it tough. But yeah.
There you go, Kev.
Before last weekend, or 2 weeks ago at Barber, Luca Giotto had done one single-seater race in about 5 years. So weekend number 2, looks like you're making good progress.
Yeah, I mean, we're half second from pole, so from the fastest. We were improving 2/10 more in the last lap, and then we caught the yellow flag for, I think, Herta span, so could have been better, but still quite happy with that.
All right, thank you. We'll see what he can do tomorrow in his second and last confirmed race for now.
That's just a preview of some of the drop-ins and listen-ins we'll have this week coming up on Peacock. Lots of practice for the Indy 500. Boy, Graham, I mean, considering how the day started and considering the issues here in qualifying, would you take starting 9th tomorrow?
Yeah, we 9th?
Yeah.
Rather 8th than 9th. But, yeah, I mean, look, we've not had an easy day. I think that's the facts. Anything that could go wrong, I think has gone wrong today. But yet the guy stuck with it and got me out of the pits, for the first run by pushing and just getting the car to go, I guess. And, I would have liked better for 5th, 3rd bank, but man, we've had a heck of a day. So we'll move on. But it's going to be a tough race from 9th. I mean, we would have liked to be a lot further forward. I think Christian will be very strong in the races because we know what he can do here, and we know what our cars were at the end of last year, although I don't think we're not as good, period, as we were in race 2 last year. But we'll see what happens.
What does a day like today say about this race team, Graham? Because I don't think anyone on this team quit from the word go at 9:30 this morning.
I got to be honest with you, and I know people think I complain too much, but we just don't have luck. I mean, we do not have luck on the 15 car. We haven't had it in 10 years, and unfortunately, a day like today, they do a wonderful job to get the engine, replaced, and then somehow a clutch fails. And I don't think it's anything we caused, if I'm very honest with you, because it worked fine in the second session, right? And then now it's failing. So I don't understand. I don't understand what we got to do to change things. But we're going to put our heads down tomorrow and try to do a great job for 5th, 3rd bank and for everybody on the 15 car, and and try to start off a good month of May.
Kevin, some very honest words from Graham Rahal.
Alexander Rossi is going to have his best start of the young season. He's been chatting with his engineer, Chris Lawrence, over here. Less than 200ths of a second. So I know everybody's pretty excited, but then you still come back and say, oh, we needed just that much to get in there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how excited to be with 7th, but I guess where we've been, like, we have to be. In this sport, you gotta take the small victories. You know, I think the whole Arrow McLaren organization has done a good job this weekend. The car is kind of back into a window that we expected after the last 2 events that were quite a challenge. So yeah, we just got to keep chipping away at it. But it sucks to miss it by that much, for sure, because there's so many. You often talk about when it's that close, there's so many places over the lap where you feel like you could have found it. You almost would rather miss by several tenths. But it's the way of the game. We know that we're strong on Sunday, so this gives us our best opportunity by far for our best result of the year.
You're going to have a little more life on a set of used red tires, which could be a difference. What else makes you feel like this could be the day to really break through tomorrow?
Quite frankly, I think the 7 car's one of the best cars on Sunday. Like, we're very good on Sunday. We just start in the deep teens. So this is a good change of pace, and I feel like we'll be able to get through quite a few cars tomorrow.
Thanks, Alexander. Much better start. 7th coming up tomorrow, Marty.
Let's chat with Marcus Armstrong. They, too, had an engine let go in that first practice session, debriefing with Taylor Kyle and his engineering group. Man, considering how the day started, a lot for you to process today. How would you evaluate that qualifying session, considering you guys missed an entire session this morning?
Meh.
Meh.
Yeah. Oh, man. I want to be in Q3 or the Fast 6, so I'm gutted, to be honest. But then again, look, we had a rough start to the day. You're right, we blew an engine on the first lap, so that's never ideal. But look, we're fast. I thought today we had a good shot at pole, frankly, because I was just doing an average job in Q1 and we were quick. So I thought that my lap was pretty average and it was just there. So disappointed, but I know that tomorrow it's going to be a long day in the office, so it's going to be fun.
Gutted is a good word for a lot of drivers in the field because it is so tight, Marcus. Have you ever been through qualifying sessions like this where it's thousandths of a second that keep you out of another round?
It is, especially around here. For whatever reason, everyone is in such a small amount of time. But that's part of the fun. That's IndyCar racing. Everyone's got a chance of pole, and the margins are so fine, it makes you want to punch yourself in the face when you don't nail it. So, but like I said, it's a really long day tomorrow. It's a long day for the neck, so going to sleep well and rehydrate and go again.
Well, that has been the theme of the day, Diff. Everybody frustrated with just how tight the margins are, and when you're a driver and you barely miss out on making it to the Fast 6, it makes it even more frustrating. Felix Rosenqvist, I know the first session was a little bit rough for you guys. You got better in that second session. Did it kind of take a backward step in this qualifying session?
No, I'd say we actually took a step in the right direction. We were fastest in Q1. I think, though, it's hard to put a lap together. I felt I was a little bit over the edge on the car, and my driving, it was just flirting with the limits a bit too much, which worked in Q1, but then in Q2 I just threw away both laps, unfortunately. So, yeah, it's still a good result for us, top 10. You know, you can definitely fight from there. A little bit bummed I just couldn't put a lap together in Q2, but no, I'm happy with the progress today. Refocus a bit for the race now and see what we can do tomorrow.
Felix Rosenqvist will start 10th tomorrow, Kevin.
Rinus VeeKay is going to start 12th at a place where he's won before and started up front. So where are you at this weekend?
I mean, I'm feeling pretty good all day today. Starting, we were fast, and even started qualifying. You know, we were second in group, right behind Power, and just interesting how we go from Group 1 being one of the fastest cars to the slowest car in Group 2, or in Fast 12. So it's interesting how the balance just changes so much while we don't really make changes. So yeah, we have to find out what caused that, but at least we have something to find out and chase for tomorrow, so we have it in a good window for the race.
Rinus passed a lot of cars a couple of weeks ago at Barber. Might do the same tomorrow here.
This little situation.
Diff, he hopes this month of May is a month of box checking. He had never won the pole for the Indy GP. He's won the race. He's won the Indy 500 pole, but he's never won that race. This could be a terrific start of the month for Alex Palou. Congratulations. The boss comes in, Chip Ganassi on the pole. How about that? You check another box here at Indianapolis, and you seemed a little surprised when Barry Wanzer said you won the pole. You went, no way. Why were you a little surprised?
I mean, it's been a tough day, honestly. Practice 1 and practice 2 wasn't amazing. Even start of qualifying. So yeah, really happy to be there. Didn't expect it, so I'll take it. It's the best starting position. Got fancy hats, fancy stickers. So yeah, looking forward to tomorrow.
How important is it to start up front here? We know you can kind of win from anywhere in the field, but confidence-wise, that's the way to start the month of May.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tricky place. Thank you. It's a tricky place, and every time you can start up front in IndyCar, it makes a difference. So yeah, looking forward to it. We only used one set of alternates here on qualifying, so yeah, looking forward to tomorrow. It was my mom's birthday today, so it's probably a good birthday present.
All right, for the first time this year, that award is yours. Alex Palou, P1 here for the Indy Road Course, the perfect way to start the month of May, Kevin.
Will Power has done it 6 times here at this track on the road course. Just misses out on his first pole. He had a little run, first pole of the season, had a little run on that last lap. What caught you up towards the end of that lap, I think?
Yeah, we were a little down, so I pushed extremely hard, which is you're never going to make up, you know, a tenth over your best lap of the day. But it's kind of, we were super quick through all the rounds. Just those tires there never came in. Just never came in. Like the more you set for the first run they were on those. Maybe I should have spent, you know, run a bit harder on my first lap. Kind of looked after them, but they just never came up. Just sliding around a lot. But P3 is pretty good, man. Like anytime you're in the top 6 of this series is very, very good. So see if we can get that Verizon car in victory lane. Trying hard every week, sort of knocking on the door. So yeah, just I love being up there. Love battling for poles.
And that's the point. Yeah, pole is nice, but you want to win. You haven't had one since 22, but you've been so close. How aggressive are you going to get to get past that? Keeping in mind, you're 1 point out of the championship lead.
Just right, you don't win a race crashing, so you play it smart. As I race every time, you know, I'm not going to, you know, and just try to put everything together properly. Do everything to the best of my ability, and hopefully that brings a win.
Thanks, Will. Starting 3rd tomorrow, Will Power.